question comes to us from V, and V writes this. Hi, We Team. I have a question about the LCMS National Youth Gathering. I'm still relatively new to Lutheranism, but I was wondering what was up with some of the things I saw in a video from the convention. Things like bands and dancing around the altar. Are these things Lutheran? Some insight on this would be greatly appreciated, as I find myself a bit confused. Thanks, V. You know, V, that's a very good question. To answer it right to the point, no, these things are not Lutheran. They have more to do with American evangelicalism than they do with Lutheranism. Now, in regard to the National Youth Gathering, I cannot speak from a comprehensive point of view on this because I've never attended a National Youth Gathering. However, I can speak to this issue on the basis of previous conventions I've done with other denominations before my time in the LCMS. With those, I want to make a couple points, if you will, to explain to you a couple things that are going on here that I found being a little bit detrimental. We would go to these national youth conventions and they would have the bands, they would have the fog lights and the lights, and they would have the dramatized skits and so forth, human videos and so forth. And what I found was this. Number one, they were really well done. I mean, no doubt about it. Very well done. A lot of technology, very, very well planned and thought out, very professional. All of it was extremely well done. However, here's what I found to be so interesting. As we came back from these national youth gatherings into the local church, there was almost a disgust among the youth. It was leaving the mountaintop, coming back into the valley. And the church was almost perceived as being out of touch with reality, that the real thing was the national convention where everything was done with the lights and the technology and the great speakers and all this energy that happened there. And the youth almost found themselves having a disgust towards the local church because the local church was not cutting it. It was not keeping up with the times. It was not relevant enough. Now, I'm going to compare that to a convention I just got back from last week, a Higher Things convention. Now, I don't intend to compare Higher Things to the National Youth Gathering because I think fundamentally they have different missions or different goals in mind. And furthermore, I've never been to National Youth Gathering. But I can say this from the Higher Things convention, and that is this. That the youth, when they came back to church services on Sunday, there wasn't a sense of a disgust for the local church. There was not a letdown. There was not a big high hill that they're coming down into this local church being some sort of, behind the times and so forth. It was actually the opposite. When the youth came back from Higher Things, there was almost an excitement to come to church here on Sunday and to do the very same thing we were doing at the Higher Things conference. In fact, some of the youth were kind of competing over who was going to be the crucifer for this last Sunday here at our local church. And so the Higher Things conference, I found that it really highlighted what the local church was doing, and it actually put the youth and tried to push them back into the local church for the mission and the work of the local church. So those are some insights to keep in mind. Does the event that you go to, the youth event, does it undercut the local church, or does it highlight and bolster and point to the local church, the mission of the local church of giving word and sacrament to God's faithful people? So I hope that helps, and we'll catch you next time.
Worldview Everlasting is solid, Christian, and free because it is viewer supported. Your monthly gift of $5, $10, or $25 is the reason that we can continue to improve and expand these tools for online Christian outreach and discipleship. To make a one-time donation, sign up for the Lutheran Ninja Clan regular giving, or to find information about how to put Worldview Everlasting in your congregation's budget, click Donate Now.